Good day, beautiful people. I'm going to read my chapter, The Past, Harm, Enough Stuff, Enough Harm. From my second book, My Survivor's Journal to My First Girlfriend, written and spoken by Jason Chang. We take actions that can have intentional and unintentional consequences. Hopefully, there is no harm involved. No lives were lost. No heedless death came about because of one's actions, either based on positive or negative personal needs, desires, goals, or ulterior motives. We can see it today, in the here and now. Some things aren't right. Information is censored, the voices are being suppressed, and the masses are living in a perpetual state of fear, then hope, then fear. A cycle that will exhaust the soul of many lesser beings. I'm exhausted, but my soul has been there and done that. Just another day for me. Plus, any extra days after suicide is a bonus for me. So what is harm? Isn't that an easy question? One can look up the definition of harm in a dictionary, but I feel harm is a very personalized experience. I have had harm done to me by a toxic parent, a not ex, well-intentioned or not, strangers, and those that want to help but just give a toxic or incorrect help. If I have friends and families like this, I might as well not have enemies. Life is a very personalized experience that we all know. We all are each the main character of our movie or our adventure book titled Insert Your Name Here. For me, harm is when an action has lasting effects. So whatever and however one does, say, or acts can harm another very easily. One person's harm is another's benefit. Wait, harm is harm. Isn't that so? What about a white lie? What about practical jokes? Or what about a freaked out husband driving his pregnant wife to the hospital? As long as he didn't harm another, he's good, right? He sideswipes a mirror of a parked vehicle. He caused harm, but not lasting. Nothing permanent. There's no time for a note and apology. It seems like it isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But what if that owner has a long drive ahead of them? Is a rideshare driver. Is going out for a hot date and was supposed to drive. We really don't know how a simple accident will affect somebody. The ripples of a simple accident. Because accidents causes injuries which cause other things. So there's an effect that we cannot quantify. The discussion on past harm is a big one. The harm of the past. We know that harm was done from one tribe of humans to another. We can see the intentionality, but can we see the unintentionality? It was a world fighting for resources. past is significantly different from the current present. The fight for resources is arguably still going on, but people cannot see the abundance. The world has a lot to offer, and the way the world is structured currently is there's finite resources. But that's not actually right. For the current moment, we have plenty of resources. The current moment. For the future, of course, there's limitations like numbers of barrels of oil in the ground. You know, there's an estimated number. But we're not, it's in the ground. That's the future. So we're trying to, in the present, be worried for the future. You know, so that's not here now. That's not being present. That's like, we need certain planning, but, chasing. Oh, sorry, I digress off the chapter. So the people of the past didn't consciously understand that their existence came at the cost of another. They just wanted to expand. We describe as colonialism. But the drive to grow and expand is a cancer that harmed others. And unfortunately, that's the past. Fortunately and unfortunately, that's the past. I know we can do differently. Many people have said there's limited resources, and every country and being is grabbing what they can. They fail to miss the important part. Without the demand for resources beyond basic, there's no need for a huge supply. The huge supply is for the future. We have sufficient for the current. And abundance is not disappearing. It's in a closed cycle. Yes, we're burning petrochemicals, but it's not disappearing. It's in the cycle of life. And we have to understand how Earth will process these new inputs, how it'll adjust. I'm sorry, I digress from the chapter. Without the demand for resources beyond basic, there's no need for a huge supply. There doesn't need to be a huge drive for resources if the demand is reduced. However, our society has a consumerism mentality, and corporations are not in business to reduce our demand. Businesses feed the supply side. They feed an insatiable hunger that just grows and grows with the population. They are not the ones to be the change in the world we want. We cannot be directing the change to them as the main drivers. People that want environmental change need to tell other people not to be consumers. I digress, but I'll go back. If you even look at Halloween, that candy is being processed by exploitive companies, Nestle, etc., Mars bars. So, are you going to tell your kids not to eat candy and to throw away the wrapper because the wrapper is made out of plastics? And there's a whole cycle of consumerism that that I should discuss. So back to the chapter. Sorry. It has to be the people one by one that say, I have enough. I don't need any more. I have enough stuff and I will give away my stuff so others too can say they have enough. I don't need more. Or each can understand that there will never be enough. The hunger for stuff isn't what we are here for, but for some it is. Materialism. Is what some know. We cannot change the harm of the past to past people. We don't need to do reparations for the past because if we fix the present, the past is moot. We can't live in the past. That's a foundational. That's our foundation. The present is and should always be our focus. We need to understand, learn from, and grow from the past so we don't bring the past problems to become the current day problems. So, what I'm saying there is we already dealt with the past problems, they're done and over with. But we're bringing it to the present days and converting the healed past problems to now the unhealed current day problems. We cannot do this if past monuments and heritages are destroyed, erased, or hidden from present day. The past isn't the harm we need to focus on. The current day harm is what we need to focus on. The harm is not understanding the past. The harm is ignoring the past. The harm is hiding and running away from one's path. Excuse me. Past. I need to get some water. Excuse me. I don't run away from my past. I understand my past now. I only live in the present day and deal with my current issues, not the past issues, unless I didn't heal my past. My past is one step on my stairway upward and onward to my future. I only see the past if I haven't healed it. But if I have healed it, the only way I want to look at the past is downward and back. It's behind me. That's where it should be. And that's where it is. And I hope that's where it is for you too.